children, how are you all? Welcome back to my class. Today in this class we are going to continue our same lesson of science, that is transportation in animals and plants. So children, in the previous class you have learned circulatory system, right? So today let us learn what is excretion in animals, transport of substances in plants, then what is transpiration. Okay, so let's start with first topic, that is excretion in animals. Excretion in animals. Our cells perform their functions, certain waste products are released. So as you know that our cells, the cells present in our body, they perform a certain functions. Okay, so at that time they released some of the waste products. Okay, so the cells in animals release some waste products as they perform their different functions. These are toxic and hence need to be removed from the body. So these waste products are toxic. Toxic is nothing but it is poisonous. Okay, so these waste products are toxic or poisonous, so they must be removed from the bodies of living organisms. The process of removal of waste produced in the cells of the living organisms is called excretion. So what is the excretion process? It is the process of removal of waste produced in the cells of the living organisms. It is called the excretion. Okay, so the removal of waste product out of the body, so that is called the excretion. The parts involved in excretion form the excretory system. So whatever the parts are involved in the excretion process, so those are called the excretory system. Okay, so this excretory system, it consists kidney. Here you can see these are the two kidneys, ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra and urinary opening. Okay, so now we'll study one by one. So first one is a kidney. Kidney. A mechanism to filter the blood is required. This is done by the blood capillaries in the kidneys. So children, these are the two kidneys here. Yes, can you see here the beans like structure? These are called the kidneys. Okay, so there are two organs that are called kidneys present in our body. So these kidneys contain a blood capillary. So these kidneys, here in the kidneys we are having the blood capillaries. These capillaries, they filter the blood. Okay, when the blood reaches the two kidneys, it contains both useful and harmful substances. The useful substances are absorbed back into the blood. The waste dissolved in the water are removed as urine. So when the blood, once the blood is reaches to the both the kidneys, here when it reaches to both the kidneys, it contains both useful and harmful substances in our body. So the useful substances, okay, after the filtration, the useful substances are absorbed by the back into the blood. It will go back to the blood, and the waste materials, okay, that waste materials will remove by this kidneys out of the bodies as urine. Okay, so the waste dissolved in water are removed as a urine. Okay, so the next point is urinary bladder. So here it is a urinary bladder. Yes, so this is called the urinary bladder. Here I will show you. These are called the urinary bladder. Can you see here? Yes, this is the urinary bladder. First we'll see the points. Okay, urinary bladder. From the kidneys, the urine goes into the urinary bladder. Next, ureters. The urine goes into the urinary bladder through the tube-like ureters. Urethra. Urine is passed out through the urinary opening at the end of the muscular tube called urethra. So see here. First we'll see here. These kidneys, they filter the blood. Okay, the useful substances are absorbed back into the blood, and the waste they dissolve in water are removed in the form of urine. Okay, the next one is, what is this urinary bladder? We'll see what is this urinary bladder. The urine produced by the kidneys, is stored in the urinary bladder. Okay, so the urine produced by these kidneys, it will stored in the urinary bladder. Next is, what is this ureter? Can you see here? These are the two ureters. So there are two tube-like structures. These are the two tube-like structures which connect the kidneys and the urinary bladder. Here you can see. So these ureters, it can connect the kidneys and the urinary bladder. These are the two tube-like structures, and they allow urine to pass from the kidneys to the urinary bladder. It acts like a pipe. Okay, it acts like a pipe. So this ureter, it allow the urine which is produced by the kidneys, so to pass from the kidneys to the bladder, and that urine will be stored in the urinary bladder. Next one is here. Can you see here, children? This is called the urethra. Okay, so there is a muscular tube through which the urine moves out of the body through the urinary opening. So here, this end is called the urinary opening. So there is a muscular tube through which the urine moves out of the body through the urinary opening. So this is about the excretory system in humans. Understood, children? Okay. An adult human being normally passes about 1 to 1.8 liter of urine in 24 hours. Okay, so an adult human being normally passes about 1 to 1.8 liter of urine in 24 hours. Okay, a normal adult person. Next is, during it consists of, so this one here, this urine consists of 95% of water, 2.5% of urea and 2.5% other waste products. So this urine, it consists of 95% of water, 2.5% of urea and 2.5% of other waste products. Here the sweat contains water and salt. So children, during, especially in the summer season, we experience the sweat, right? So that sweat, it contains a water and the salt. Okay, and here children, can you see this picture? Can you observe this figure here? Yes, so here you can see there are kidneys here. These are the kidneys, the ureter and with the urinary bladder, right? So here the pair of kidneys are located or situated on either side of the backbone. This is our backbone. Yes, so this is our backbone. So here the pair of kidneys, they are situated on either side of the backbone, right? Okay, now let's move to the another topic. Transport of substances in plants. So till then we have learned that excretory system in animals. Now we're going to start transport of substances in plants. How the transportation takes place in the plants. So children, plants take water and minerals, nutrients from the soil through the roots and transport it to the leaves. As you know it, where the leaves prepare the food for the plant, isn't it? So through the process of photosynthesis, isn't it? So have you ever wondered how water and nutrients absorbed by the root are transported to the leaves? How is the food prepared by the leaves carried to the parts which cannot make food? Yes, so here we are going to see what is the answer for these two questions. How the plant absorbed water and nutrients from the roots will go to the all parts of the plant, and the food prepared by the leaves will reach to all parts of the plant. Okay, the first point is, plants absorb water and minerals by the roots. As we know that the plants, they absorb the water and minerals from the roots, isn't it? Next is, the roots have root hair. Okay, so as we know that the roots are having the root hairs. So here, can you see here this picture? So this is the main root. Yes, so here can you see these structures? These are look like a hairs. Yes, so these structures are look like a hair. So these are called the root hairs. So the roots are have root hairs. So the root hairs increase the, so these root hairs increase the surface area of the roots for the absorption of water and minerals that is dissolved in the water. And children, here the root hair. So these root hair, here you can see. Okay, so this is a transverse section of the root. Okay, when we cut the root in a transverse section, we get the structure like this under the microscope. Okay, so here these are the root hairs. Can you see here? These are the root hairs. So these root hairs is in contact with the water that is present between the soil particles. Isn't it? In the last class you have learnt it. Isn't it? Okay, so these are the root hairs. Understood, children, what are root hairs? How it looks like? Yes, so these are the root hairs. Okay, so children, plants have pipe-like vessels to transport water and nutrients from the soil. The vessels are made of special cells forming the vascular tissue. So the plants, they are having a pipe-like structures. Okay, so once the first listen here, once the root absorbs the water and minerals from the soil, from the roots the water and minerals are transported to other parts of the plant through the pipe-like vessels, so that the special kind of tissues are called the vascular tissues. So those are called the vascular tissues. First, let us see what is the meaning of this tissue. Tissue is nothing but it is a group of cells that perform specialized functions in an organism. So these are tissues are there are group of cells. Okay, these are the group of cells that perform a specialized function in an organism. So those are called the tissues. Okay, so the plants, they transfer the water minerals through the vascular tissues. Okay, so there are two types of vascular tissues. The first one is a xylem. You can see the first one is a xylem, the second one is a phloem. So the first one, let us see what is this xylem and what is the function of the xylem. It's a kind of vascular tissue. Okay, so here the vascular tissue for the transport of water and nutrients in the plants is called the xylem. So what is the main function of the xylem? So this tissue, it transport the water, minerals, nutrients to the all parts of the plant. So here can you see here the yellow this one, the blue marks. Yes, so these are the these are the xylems, because once the root absorbs the water and minerals from the soil, so that water and minerals will be transported through the tissue vascular tissues named xylem. So these are the xylem here. Okay, understood, children? So the xylem forms, it is a continuous network, and it is like a continuous network that connects the roots and the leaves through the stem and the branches. Okay, so this is a xylem. What is the main function of the xylem? It transports the water and minerals, nutrients to the all parts of the plants, which is absorbed by the root. So this is a xylem. The second one is a phloem. The food has to be transported to all parts of the plant. This is done by the vascular tissues called the phloem. So the leaf, where the food is prepared in the plant, it is prepared in the leaves. So once the leaves prepare their food, so that has been to transport to all parts of the plant, right? So that is done by the phloem. So what is the main function of the phloem? The phloem, it transport the food to all parts of the plant. Here you can see, children, the red one marks. Can you see here the red color arrow marks? Yes, so this is the phloem. Okay, so these are the phloems, like they are showing you, just you have to imagine it. Okay, so these are the acts like a phloem, because once the food is prepared in the leaves, that will transport to all parts of the plant through the phloem. So what is the function of the xylem? It transport water, minerals and nutrients to all parts of the plant. And what is the function of this phloem? It will transport prepared food to all parts of the plant. So this is the function of the xylem and the phloem. Here I will show you where is the xylem. So children, once you take the transverse section of the root, when you observe it under the microscope, you will find such kind of structure. Here, can you see here the boxes like structures? Yes, these are called the xylem vessels. And here, these bundles are called the phloem. Okay, so these are the xylem and these are the phloem. Now children, let's move over another topic, that is transpiration. What do you mean by transpiration? The plants release a lot of water by the process of transpiration. So what is the meaning of transpiration? The release of water from the plant leaves, that is called the transpiration. So the plants, they release a lot of water by the process of transpiration. The plants absorb mineral nutrients and water from the soil. Not all the water absorbed is utilized by the plant. So as you know that the plant, they absorb the mineral nutrients and water from the soil through the roots. So whatever the nutrients or the minerals which is absorbed by the plant will not get utilized, will not used by the plant. So the remaining water will be get released. Okay, the remaining water will get released. So that is called the transpiration. The water evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of the leaves by the process of transpiration. So the remaining water, okay, once the roots absorb the water and minerals from the soil, so all that water will not be absorbed by the plants. Okay, it will not utilized by the plants. So that remain water will get evaporates. Okay, what is the meaning of evaporation? It's a process, right? So the process of changing from liquid to vapors, that is called evaporation, isn't it? So the water, it gets evaporated through the stomata. You know that. What is the stomata? These are the small pores which are present on the surface of the leaves. Okay, so that process is called the transpiration. Okay, so the evaporation of water from leaves generates a suction pull. So the evaporation of water from the leaves, so when the water gets evaporated, so that generates one kind of pull. Okay, that is called the suction pull. So suction pull is nothing but, children, when you suck the water through the straw. Okay, if you are sucking the water, so this is water, if you are sucking the water through the straw, yes, this is same case which is happened in the suction pull. Okay, once the evaporation of water from the leaves, it's generate a kind of pull, it's called the suction pull. Okay, so which can pull water to great heights in the tall trees. So next is transpiration also cools the plant. So this transpiration also cools the plant. What is the meaning of transpiration, children? The release of water from the plant leaves is called the transpiration. Understood? What is the transpiration? Okay, so children, in this lesson you have learnt excretion in animals, excretory system in humans, right? Then transport of substances in plants, and you learnt vascular tissues, that is xylem and phloem. What is the function of xylem and what is the function of phloem? Then you came to know what is transpiration, right? So hope you understood all the concepts very well, children. Okay.